making it fit towards the future and what the future has to hold for the Nym community. From the Nym side, sort of, kind of, I have with me today Hux. Say hi to the people.
Hello, so nice to be here again. Looking forward for this celebratory last call.
The guy who I literally can't get rid of and can get rid of less and less as we progress in time. I also have with me Jaya, Nym CSO. Say hi to the people.
Hi, everyone. Great to be here. It's my fault that the community call started late. I take full responsibility. Really good to see everybody's faces and everyone smiling.
It's good to have you. And now, of course, as promised in the announcement, we also have with us a batch of amazing people who are winners of the third level of Shipyard, so level 3 of Shipyard, some squad representatives. So let's do just a very quick intro roundtable before we get to some questions and get to introduce you guys. Say hi to the people. John from Privacy Rebels.
Hello, guys. Hi. It was actually quite a coincidence we managed to form a squad. I formed a squad, found a couple of people who are sort of into privacy, and we want to run a simple educational sort of project to sort of empower and educate people why the privacy is important, especially people from sort of third world countries. We got 3 people on board, myself, who's kind of a boss, even though I didn't nominate myself. We've got Bikram, who is from India, and maybe he's on the call he's on the call as well. Yeah, well done for making it. And he is a content maker. He's the guy behind making all the content. And we've got Bissist, who's, I believe, on the call as well. So it's a small squad, 3 people, but we're quite passionate about educating people about privacy in general, why it's important to get to know what Nym is doing, and how to run a node, which is actually very, very easy with Nym. So that sort of thing.
You already answered most of the questions that I would have for you later on, but that's totally fine. We'll come up with some new ones.
That's fine. That's totally fine.
Next up is Alexei from RoboX, which is also a super interesting project. Say hi to the people.
Hi everyone, we are RoboX. We want to bring privacy to every home, literally, because we are making a Nym-enabled router, which can be placed at every home. It will host privacy services, and it will be the direct gateway for people to the private mixed network. First of all, next, we are going to educate people how to be private, indeed, when they are not private, and what should they do to be private, actually. For this, we also want to decide the problem on legal area. Yes, we want to ask local lawyers to explain how Nym exit gateway will work in Ukraine, for instance. It's our main topics. But first of all, we're making a hardware device with privacy-enabled router.
All right, excellent stuff. More on that later. We also have with us today Super Maya, who's, I think it's not your first time in an Nym community call, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I think it's the 3rd, but I'm not sure.
Say something about yourself and your squad, please.
Oh yeah, okay. So hi, I'm Super Maya. I'm here representing Tupin King, which is a squad of Brazilian tech people. So we're a bunch of devs. We know each other from school, and we're very passionate about Web3 and privacy. So when I told them about Shipyard, and they were super pumped about it. So we decided to do Shipyard together, and then we built on top of it. We knew that there was gonna be a builder track, so we were like, let's try to build something. We built a integration with the Brave search engine, and then we also did a workshop at the school, at the college we study at. So we did a little presentation presenting to people the problems of mass surveillance, economy of attention, all of that, and gave an overview of what Nym is and what it's trying to do. We also encouraged some people there to run their nodes. We almost got some people to start running, but it was too tight to schedule to join the delegations program, and they were like, they didn't make it in time, but who knows? Maybe the next time we can get more students running nodes. And so yeah, our primary goal, we don't have like a set final objective. We like Nym, we like the space, we want to build around it, grow with it. So we have some projects we're trying to do. So first, now that we got some budget, we're gonna try to spin up a gateway and a server so we can host our Brave Search integration, and then people can use it. Then we're gonna do some research about exit nodes here in Brazil, since most of us run Nymx nodes and are going to run exit nodes. We'll probably do some research about that as well. And yeah, like any cool stuff we think about, like developing, we're gonna go for it.
Amazing.
Nice.
And I think the last two people to introduce both represent two squads, not only one, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right? Let's start with Rocio, who's from Build with Nym. How's it going, Rocio? Introduce yourself to the people.
Well, hi, I am Rocio. I am from Ecuador. I am so happy to be here. I met Nym from Daniel in an online event, and then I in love of the project. I love the privacy. Shippers come, and it was an amazing journey. A lot of study, a lot of good vibes, and then we met the Latin community. That's also people. We met a lot of guys around the world, chat, and well, we make a lot of squads, and I am represent one squad built with Nym. The purpose is to join all builders to adopt the Nym technology and move the fingers at create apps, arms, because we want to contribute the people use Nym between apps. And so another squad is Parrot. We want to, it's more like an investigation squad. We want to identify organizations or communities or organizations that need privacy. A lot of Latin America activists have the problems with when you are an activist. The people watch you, the people point you, and we want to share the technology with us, with them.
It is really great to have you on, but that means that you're not in the audience, and Jimmy is already missing you from the audience. You were one of the most active commenters on all of the Shipyard lectures, all throughout Shipyard. So maybe next time you can keep bombarding us with those very nice questions and comments. It's really nice to have you here.
Thank you.
And last but not least, another representative of RoboX, Mr. Dan Freeman. How's it going?
Yeah, hey, thank you for having me there. Basically, as Alexander already said about RoboX, I'm also a representative. I do the stuff, do research, do like organizing stuff and talking to people, explaining our concept and foundation, the plain language. Basically, what I'd like to say, it's when the third phase of Shipyard kicked off and our squad pitched the idea of secure private router built on some seriously solid groundwork. I thought, oh, this is a super symbiosis, like hardware security paired with an excellent software privacy option through Nym with a bunch of potential use cases. So here we are among the grant winners. Thank you so much. And now we are building the product. Alexander will fill you on the details if you have a little bit more time. The very idea and technological foundation of the project is Alexander's. He's been, as far as I know, experimenting with similar teams and tests for quite some time. And overall, his technological expertise is quite cool. That's like it's always draw your attention and earns your trust. So, as I say, here we are. Thanks for having us there.
It is awesome to have you on, and I can't wait to jump a little bit more into each of your squads. Now, but before that, just wanted to say a little bit of put it in a bit of context what squads mean. And for that, I'm going to invoke Jaya, who's really good at the big picture stuff. So we've been talking a lot about squads all throughout Shipyard, and it's an interesting question why that is and what we're expecting to come out of this collaboration with all of these squads. But before that, I want to tell you guys that squad spotlights and just squads and community members popping up on these calls and various other events is going to be a much more common occurrence going into 2024. Jaya, take it away. Tell us why squads are important.
Well, there's two things I want to talk about, actually. Why squads are important and what squads actually are, like where the idea comes from, why we went with squads instead of DAOs and this sort of thing, which, you know, for those who have a little bit more of a kind of philosophical mind, they might find that interesting too. But yeah, the reason why squads are going to become increasingly important is because, you know, the Nym network, we're standing at a threshold right now, right? So to give a kind of big picture overview of what's happened over the past few years, you know, the Nym mixnet went from, you know, academic, you know, this came out of kind of like deep academic research into the privacy needs at the core of the internet, right? So really from like, you know, kind of scientific minds, Claudia and Anya in particular, along with our other advisors, and something like the Nym mixnet doesn't really exist in the world, or didn't really exist in the world until now, right? So we went from kind of the scientific research into actually creating something, a proof of concept in the real world with live token economics once we launched the token. And all of this was like, you know, a big question, like is this going to work? Like, does this, you know, this paper or these, you know, 3 papers in particular that we have, will they actually flesh out into a real world infrastructure that's functioning, that has real economics, that people want to be involved in? And it turns out that, yes, you know, this thing does work. It is solving a really important problem. And now it's the moment when we need to take that to market, right? So actually like closing the loop on the economics, so to speak. So for the time being, the mixnet is funded by the mixed mining pool. The mixed mining pool bootstraps the operators, so kind of simulates a kind of live economic system, so to speak, by subsidizing mixed node operators with rewards, right? Ideally, you don't need those subsidies. Ideally, this comes from real world demand for privacy. And that's the kind of, that's the threshold that we're at right now. And that's where we want to move into in the next year with the launch of the VPN. So the VPN is going to be the very first commercial application running on the mixnet. The mixnet, of course, can serve a lot of different commercial applications. So let's see what else comes out next year. But this is the one that we're focusing on. And that's when then, you know, not just will the kind of like token economics have to stand the test, but also the actual infrastructure operators, right? So that means you guys, everybody who's running nodes, everybody who's actually delegating stake, you know, there is going to become a higher and higher load on the network, and we're going to need everybody to be very organized to make sure that upgrades happen on time, to make sure that we have enough exit nodes when we need more exit nodes. So all this requires good organization. And good organization means building, you know, social relationships with the, you know, this decentralized network of operators all over the world. A good working relationship between the core team and the community, which, you know, has been lacking a little bit. So we're repairing all of these kind of loose ends and bringing everybody together so that we all have the focus on actually, you know, providing a top quality service, something that actually can be taken to market and something that's going to be competitive in the real world. So that's the big picture of why it's so important that squads are forming now, and that squads start to get to know each other, and that, you know, we have a variety of squads that also take care of, you know, everything from education to kind of the legal research. Is super nice to hear that the people at RoboX are looking into some of these legal questions on exit nodes. And I think Tupin King, you think Subrahmaya, you mentioned it as well. Like this is, you know, it's important that you're kind of doing this research. And also builders, of course, you know, so we can actually start seeing what other directions can we go with the mixnet. So these are all super important developments. It's very, very exciting for me, and I think for all of us, to see these squads surfacing from the Shipyard Academy. It's one of the nicest things, you know, nicest parts of this job, is to get to know all of you fantastic people and see the amazing work that you're doing on top of the building blocks that we're putting out in the world. So that's is that good, Pseudo? Does that provide the picture? Yeah.
Pretty good. Pretty good big picture stuff. So
And then to talk a little bit about the word squad, where it comes from, right? So, you know, people that are involved in Web3, you know, are very used to kind of like the concept of DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations. Personally, when I saw the first DAO come out, you know, way back in 2016, I was extremely skeptical. I've actually written a lot of critical texts about the concept of DAOs, and partially because it seemed to not fully understand the nature of social relationships very well. And DAOs have a tendency to be quite rigid in the kind of way that, you know, rules and governance is thought about. So it's like, it's very rule based. It's very kind of protocol based in a sense, where the concept of squad was something that I found in there's an R&D crew called the Other Internet, which are fantastic, by the way. I'll drop a link in the chat, and they wrote a text called Squad Wealth, which is a wonderful text. I recommend everybody to read it, and it talks a little bit about the phenomena that we're starting to see of like people kind of getting together in a little bit more of an ad hoc way. It's like you like someone, you kind of vibe around a certain kind of idea, you start a group chat, you have like 10 new friends joining that group chat, all of a sudden you open up a multi-sig, you decide to do something together. So it's a little bit this kind of vibe that we want, which is, you know, people coming together around, you know, kind of a shared drive and ambition and enthusiasm, without overburdening it with like, you know, rules and governance and protocols and so on. It's a little bit more quick. It's a little bit more based on a certain kind of fluid energy that we really want to bring to the project, especially in these early years, and to start to kind of form these connections all over the Nym community. So yeah, do have a read through that text. It's a fun read, and that's the backstory.
all right, so as the audience hopefully sees, when I said over and over again that Shipyard was just the beginning, I really meant it. And hopefully now you also see how important in that just the beginning squads are. And with that, actually, let's jump into a bit of a deeper intro into all of these squads, which are spotlighted here today, starting from a reverse order that we went with the intros. So Mr. Freeman from RoboX, do you want to give us a bit more of a deeper rundown of what you guys are building and why?
I would like to pass the mic to Alexander, as he is our technological visionary, like supervision, and I guess no one could describe better than him. It's 100%.
Pass the mic, but could you summarize what you're planning as an individual Nymja with maybe the Nym Community Hub?
Mike.
Oh yeah, talking about individual, I can talk more. So in a nutshell, what can I say? My plans for the next years within, mostly it's within RoboX. We've got a lot on our plate. The goal is to explain things clearly and, as I said, in plain language, especially when it comes to privacy. In other words, I guess it goes to my individual contribution and RoboX contribution. We need to dig deeper than just singing praises for how cool RoboX and how cool is Nym. We all understand that there is still a lot to be done to get people immersed in why privacy, security, and I would say online hygiene are crucial. Unfortunately, many folks either don't know what this means or just don't care. It's horror. So we need to break through, teach, prove, explain. As understanding grows, people will grasp what steps they need to take for their privacy. That's when interesting will spark in both software, hardware solutions. That's when people will realize, oh, we using Nym VPN is smart idea. Oh, using some secure router is super smart idea. So, and stuff like that. Yeah, so also I'd like to create more valuable content, like reports, essays that benefit to the community. I want more people to see, read, engage with it. Also, I want to achieve this like on a local level. I'm currently building a database of local Ukrainian media, like media outlets, some influencers, some sources that interested in privacy, like some military stuff, centers, like journalists, ordinary people. It's time to start working with them. So yeah, basically that's it. The community home hub. It's a place where all people, like from newbies to the like experienced people, may see all the stuff in one place. I want as many people as possible to see this creation, like my child, I would say. So yeah, I'll proceed working on that. So yeah, so on this positive note, passing the mic to Alexander.
I'm kind of glad you didn't just straight hand over because you had quite a bit to say. So thanks for that. Alexei, on to you.
Okay, so I'm next, yes? First of all, why we started the RoboX, yes, is because I personally thought how just to connect to the mixed privacy mixnet, yes, Nym privacy mixnet. First of all, we need just simple internet, yeah, to just be able to connect somewhere, and to connect to the internet privately, we usually use either our home networks or hotel networks, airports, public hotspots, internet cafe, and so on. Everywhere almost we need to share some part of our private data like phone numbers, emails, and so on to register to the internet or just to pay the bills, pay with our credit cards, and so on. So first we thought that why not to make a fully independent sovereign router which can accept payments directly by the hardware. Yeah, so it's just independent box, independent router who can independently of people accept payments and give people internet. It's first basic idea, just to make to be able to share private internet with our neighbors, with everyone who can just have some Bitcoin, Lightnings, or Nyms. It can pay directly. Second, we can understand that it will lead to the a very distributed network of such routers who can act as service providers, because our home routers usually connect to the internet all 24 hours by 7 days per week. So why not to use this ability to broadcast mixed packets every time in the network? So we decided to put Nym nodes and it will be hosted on the router directly in our homes. Next is Nym announced VPN service, yes, which requires mixed exit gateways. So why not to use another exit gateway on the same router, which can act like a different access point or different gateway for exit traffic of Nym VPN. So for me, it's first of all technological project that can provide privacy to every home, and it will create a new decentralized economy of privacy providers, which can just earn money on getting the small device in their homes. Yes, just simple, but it can scale quite good for me. So first of all, our team wants to make a proof of concept to get ready-made solutions like enterprise-grade firewall already existed with API, which can be connected from external services, from plugins, for example. We can use BTC Pay Server, for example, which can be the first payment provider that can be hosted inside the router. And then we need to build Nym mix node to be able to run on the same host and be able to get rewards from staking, from to be able to participate in mixing traffics. And later, as soon as VPN is ready fully, we can accept payments for exit traffic as well. So it's the general idea. And again, to protect people's privacy from government, we also need to protect them in a legal area because we don't want to build something that will bring problems to our community and our first adopters. Yeah, we need to protect them legally, and we need to fix this issue with local lawyers to answer the questions or teach people how they need to answer the questions if someone came to their home. Yeah, it's in general. And step by step, when we will build all this together, we want to learn people that, look, you have internet here, you don't share any private IDs, and you are able to get service you want in a private way from your home device and from your phone directly to the service you want to pay for instance, or you need to access and I suggest you know what I mean.
Truly excellent stuff. Really can't wait to see what comes out of it because it's a really well-baked idea, and I think it's like a really good, basically, like second economic layer to what Nym is. Excellent stuff. Moving on from RoboX to Rocio's Build with Nym. Can you share a bit more detail on what you guys are for and what you guys are building?
Well, we will have a lot of work to do because we want to identify products and the developers of that kind of products that can join with Nym. And also, it's very, very important to talk with developers because they only program things, but they don't put the interest in privacy or wherever. They only building things. And thanks to Nym, the privacy is put on the table. And this is the time to talk about that. What happened with our data, what kind of technology you actually use. And with all of people that I with Shipyard, I met a lot of things show, like what happened with these kind of apps. These apps are really private. These do the things that the apps do. And well, we want to do a lot of things like tutorials, like make easy to show the SDKs for developers, make demos for the actually product, like explore that pancakes do. How do they do that? And make advice to another developers and motivate more developers and more another communities. I know a lot of communities are interested to test the VPN, to do things, to test some features. Well, we have a lot of things on the mind, but we are very, very happy to try to have this opportunity to put the hands work on that. And also, I need to improve my English to communicate all the things that are in my mind.
Your English is totally fine, like excellent. No issues with it at all. I have two questions for you. You can pick which one you want to answer. Either you can talk a little bit about your other squad as well, which you're participating in, or you can describe the future of Build with Nym. Where do you see it in about a year from now? Where to go from here?
I think we will have a lot of stuffs to make easy the devs come to Gym and use it and implement. And with Parrot, it's very interesting because the research thing is the first step to improve the technology, to identify where this is the technology the best way to improve the social problems now. And I don't know, it's I see the future, and I see a lot of things to uy, a lot of things that we can do.
You can speak a bit in Spanish sometimes too if there's words that you can't remember. I know how frustrating it is to not get the word. This is me when I try to speak Spanish. I'm super curious, actually, at some point. I mean, I would love for both Rocio and the RoboX crew, and also Tupin. I mean, people that are building with Nym, like, please do be very vocal about your experience of using the SDKs and the docs, right? So we're looking to improve these areas a lot, and right now we don't have a lot of information to go with. So, you know, Max, who's heading the developer relations team, you know, would love to just get any input or feedback or suggestions on your side on how to improve.
Cool. Sure. RoboX is a great project. When I read that, was wow, I want that for Christmas. So, and Spanish
Maybe
time.
for next Christmas.
Well, the next one.
Yeah, hopefully we can all get a RoboX for ourselves and our loved ones for the next Christmas. Big thanks for that, Rocio. Super excited to find out about your squad, and also what comes out of it. So please keep us posted on that. I think, Alexi, you were about to say something, and I cut you off.
We suggest to make it before the Christmas, yeah, much earlier, because it should be from ready-made solutions. We just need to make a combo. But fully completed box, yeah, maybe to the next Christmas. Yeah, thanks.
All right, so I guess that leads us to Super Maya and Tupin King, which I could never remember. So really glad that you put it in your display name there. Tell us a little
Yeah,
about it.
it's a bit hard to pronounce, I think, no, and to remember. It's very different name. So it's Tupin King, and like I said, we don't really have a harsh like main goal for the squad. So we're people that are enthusiasts about the space, and we like to build, and we like to put our hands on stuff. And so we don't have like a set goal for 6 months from now, or like a big project we're working on. It's more like a lot of small stuff that when it comes together is something big. So like I said, we plan to build on them. So we have like, we can say we have an agenda for the like next month or two. So for the next month or two, we would like to first release Incognito, which is the search tool that integrates with Brave Search. So like everyone in the world can like just go to incognito.com or .whatever and search through Nym. We also want to spin up our own gateway so we can get experience on that and see how it is. And also with that, get some research into like exit gateways. So I know one person from Tor here in Brazil. So we're gonna try to activate that bridge and talk with them, see like how they do with Tor exit nodes. I think there's like 30 exit nodes here in Brazil. See like how they do it, like what's the what problems they run into and everything. Try to get some. We can really give legal advice because we don't know nothing about law, but we can like do as much research as we can and give out the material so people can take informed decisions. And also some nice things that maybe like on the near future, we're doing some research to make it a smoother process to update your mix node. So, well, if it works, it will become smoother. So, well, we're still theorizing about it, and we need to put it to test. So, we have some theories about how to update your mix node in a better way and with a smoother experience. So, I don't know. Hopefully, if it all goes well in the coming weeks, we'll have some stuff to bring. And we also want to do more workshops. So, I feel like that's more in the context of Brazil and Rio de Janeiro, where I'm from. Like here, Nym has kind of like it's kind of known in this bubble of Web3 in Rio. So there's this like group of people from Web3 in Rio that go to events, go to stuff like that. Like those people already know about Nym, but I feel like with Tupin King, we have the power to leave that bubble and go to another. But like I feel like that's how you burst a bubble. Like you put yourself in a bunch of bubbles, and then eventually like everybody knows you. So we want to go to the bubble of developers and show them like, hey, you can build with privacy. Like here's some amazing tools that you can use. Here's this gigantic infrastructure that you can use and integrate into your apps, and it works in this way like nothing you've ever seen before. And like get people to know them from different bubbles than the Web3 bubble here in Rio. So I feel like with Tupin King we have that power. So we're looking to more colleges and stuff like that, like more student and dev related people to present Nym to them. And the feedback we get is always awesome. Like recently, like when you talk about Nym, people always like, wow, this is so cool. Like it's amazing, but it's not very known yet. So, well, it probably will change with the VPN, but like I had an experience recently. Like I went to a conference with like it's Hackers to Hackers, and I was talking about Nym, and one guy who was listening, he worked at an ISP, and he was like, "Dude, this is amazing. How can I implement this for all my clients?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. You probably have to install the Nym client in every single machine." And he was like, "Yeah, that's a little bit of a problem, no?" And then it got me thinking, like RoboX, if you could put it in the router, like that's a great solution because like every machine connected to a single router, you could put like the router to do the job for you. You don't have to install clients on every single machine. So I really feel like Nym is great and is going in a great direction. I kind of lost myself in the the last moments, but yeah.
That's totally fine. Thanks for introducing us to all of the little bits and pieces of what you guys are doing. But you left one thing out, which is that you're also a mentor of the Delegators program, along with Palmflake, along with Coinmetrica, and some others. Want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, I'm also a mentor under the Delegators program, so I'm pretty excited about that. So I've been running a Mixnode for around 6 months, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Like it's simple, but it's nice. Like you learn some stuff running a node and seeing like learning to do with VPSs and setting up systems, services, and dealing when like the VPS goes down or there's a sudden change of IP and how you can automate that stuff. Like it's nice, and I'm looking forward. Like there's a lot of people in the Delegators program. The chat is already pretty active, so people posting like, oh, I'm having some issue with this, some issue with that, like how can I do this? And that's what I want to do. Like I want to see all those different like situations, all those singularities that people come up with, and try to help, and then we can build like a community of node operators from there maybe, and like people who support each other, and then that way we strengthen the network.
That's exactly my master plan with, part of my master plan with the Delegators program. So hit the nail on the head. It was really good to hear about all of that, Super Maya, and we'll definitely be in touch. And with that, last but not least, is John Smith from Nym Privacy Rebels. How's it going, good sir?
Yes, thank you, Sado. No, all good, all good. Enjoying the live performance. As I said, that I'm quite new to this, so but it's exciting. Well done, guys, for organizing it. I basically explained quite a lot of stuff, but in a sort of nutshell, it's going to be an educational project. We run nodes as well. 2 people from our squad has won the delegation program, so we're going to try to leverage that experience to sort of automate stuff as well, as Super Maya said, and sort of help to teach people how to easily spin up a node, look after it, and what to do if there is a downtime and that sort of thing. On top of that, it's usual educational content like articles, something else which I'm not going to disclose. But yeah. potentially, hopefully, we will be able to get in touch with certain local organizations which are sort of interested in the privacy stuff to help spread the word about Nym and how we can help with sort of node installation and making people aware. Maybe trying to fight with this nothing to hide argument, which is kind of first one people say, well, I've got nothing to hide. Well, not quite. I think I'm also a big fan of RoboX as well. It'd be quite nice to get one of the gadgets before Christmas. I once had a similar gadget. I got it off Kickstarter, which was like filtering all the ads and blocking all the bad URLs and stuff. So it's a kind of cool thing. Yeah, it's a kind of cool thing. It's like was a squared white box based, I think, on Raspberry Pi. Anyway, it's a quite.
It's called a Pi hole.
Pi hole is a software project, but somebody did like a very nice case for it and put Raspberry Pi inside, and they actually published all their software, so you can install it on your Raspberry Pi if you don't want to buy from them. But I think they're out of business now. But I think it's a very good idea to have something locally running, especially if you're going to add gateways and stuff. A big challenge, I think, is legal challenge, but it's quite good that people are thinking about it ahead. So yeah, that's us in a nutshell. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna reach that milestone.
You reminded me of the whole kind of bits of argument where people are like, oh, if you have nothing to hide, why do you need privacy? This sort of thing. It's been on the back of my mind for ages to set up have some kind of handbook of talking points, and probably even have that in the docs. So we can actually like all collaborate on these continuous kind of like whatever vacuous statements that people have around privacy, to come to develop some really good counter memes, basically.
Yeah, I think I'll probably write an article on this, because I remember when that was a while ago when the whole conversation started, and there was this, I don't remember his name, there was this journalist who was trying to sort of tackle this nothing to hide thing. When Snowden leaked all his stuff, that's when it started, so a while ago, but the argument is still there, and that's the first thing people say, well, I've got nothing to hide, I don't care about privacy or privacy, but it's a bit more complex.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's me. That's me in a nutshell. Our squad.
Super great to hear about your squad as well, Mr. John Smith. Cool name, by the way. Sounds like the absolute real name.
One and only.
One and only. Anyways, I'm just pulling your leg, friend. So with that, I think we arrived to the end of our squad introductions. If you want to find out more about any of these squads, of course, we're going to be spotlighting them and other squads all throughout 2024, like we mentioned. But links to their repos or work or websites or whatever is relevant are shared in the chats. So if you look at the live chat of either the YouTube or the Twitch stream, you can find links to these lovely people.
You haven't asked me about my plans yet.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's ask Hux about his plans. I'm sorry. Hux, take it away.
I just wanted to add one thing, because I was listening to all of your wonderful stories and plans, and it's all super great to hear. So my only one plan after this session is finding the ways to best help all of you and everyone else to cooperate, better, to sort of leverage each other's research and how to share information better across the entire Nym community. Because only these pieces, what you've talked about, they're already connecting so many ways. So yes, it's maybe the community hub, but it's maybe some other social layers where I would be really happy to support everyone, basically, to be a big family, and making the Nym Mixnet super robust through this social connection layer, like friendships and colleague relationships that we share with each other. That's kind of my plan. Thanks for asking.
That's a great plan, Hux. Sorry for not asking earlier. No, that really is a great plan, and Hux has been doing quite a bit of that work as well. as one of our community grantees. So I'm looking forward to that to continue as well. Maybe less so him sitting in my house, but that's a story for another day. All right, so with that, actually, we arrive at something important, a bit of a peek into 2024. We've been all throughout Shipyard and even throughout this call, we've been talking a lot about the importance of squads, right? And how important they are going to be. So this is not going to be a final design, what we're going to be sharing with you today, but it is something that we've been cooking up that ties a lot of threads all together. Hux, can you please share your screen?
Yes, can you give me one more minute?
Yes.
Maybe can I ask you, Sudo, to summarize, still for my presentation, what happened in the Nym community this year? Can you just in main bullet points, you know, what
All
have you
right, so
seen before Shipyard, maybe, if is it okay for you?
it will be incredibly difficult to summarize everything, but this year, the first iteration of the delegations program launched, for example, which we're now launching the second iteration of course, building on Shipyard. The Nymja ambassador program also launched this year. And of course, with that, we built Shipyard on top of all of those things. I'm kind of looking forward to tie all of this into the presentation that Hux is going to share.
Good job, good job.
In a second.
I need only one more second. I'm almost there. Yes, I'm here. Sorry about the technical stuff. Sharing screen.
It's happening, folks. Believe us.
Yes, got it. Slideshow. Oh, do you see my screen?
Not yet. Now we do.
That's a wrong presentation. Oh
Jesus. Wait, Hux, you brought the wrong presentation.
It's a different project.
You are fired. All right, so of course this was just a meme. The name Squad Game comes from originally so just Hux's brain. Anyways, that's where it comes from. So we're going to be giving you a sneak peek into the general idea behind the Squad Game, which is going to be a defining program for 2024 when it comes to the Nym community. And it's also something that ties a whole bunch of stuff that has been some of those things that I listed that we launched this year. It's tying a whole bunch of those together. Now, initially we wanted to go with the pink color scheme, or like this magenta or whatever, but I was instructed to use the Nym community purple instead. So you have Jaya to thank for that, but I think it's actually pretty dope like this as well. So okay, let's get into a little bit about the context of why we thought the Squad Games is a good way to follow up Shipyard, and also to build a whole bunch of our existing programs into one coherent whole. So 2024 is going to be a huge year for the Nym community. Now, of course, we like to repeat this over and over again, and every project can say that the next year is going to be absolutely huge. But when it comes to Nym, guys, if you really think about it, 2024 is where the rubber hits the road. So we've been building this first in theory, of course, this mixnet, which existed in theory for quite some time, but the first practical implementation, or one of the first practical implementations, especially of this scale, was built by Nym. And then, mainnet launched, and then we optimized and fine-tuned a whole bunch of things under the hood, and now we're ready to launch our first mass use case for it. So people are actually going to be using the Nym mixnet next year, early next year. So that is a really big step forward, and that needs all hands on deck, right, from our community. That is partly why we've been building all over 2023 as well towards deepening our collaboration with you guys, because the community's role, of course, is absolutely crucial when it comes to Nym, and of course of the broader vision of privacy for everyone everywhere, because you guys are operating our infrastructure, or are in the sense that not Nyms, but are together with you guys. We have this infrastructure that we're operating, and on top of that, of course, you guys are here, as you heard from the squads who spoke today, are here to spread the message of privacy for everyone everywhere, along with this tool, which actually gets you that. So it's pretty convenient, isn't it? Now, of course, with that, 2024 and the late days of 2023 are going to be the time to cut the noise and simplify a whole bunch of things and focus. I think Jaya is really happy to hear this, because I have this tendency to really like to suggest or propose new community programs And she even asks me sometimes, you know, whether I'm okay. Like, Pseudo, hey, you haven't proposed a new community program for like a week. Are you doing okay? So this time though, this is our collaboration with her and many others as well, to not just launch something new, but also to tie a whole bunch of things that exist together into one coherent whole. I don't know how much of detail we want to go into here, so I'm going to be handing over to Jaya at some points to go as far as she wants with that. But just so you guys understand what Squad Games is, it is basically going to be a unified framework for community collaboration. A whole bunch of the ideas that end up transferring into Squad Games were already introduced during Shipyard. So basically, we're just continuing that idea and giving you a path to join the Nym core community and to progress within that core community in a structured and hopefully also fun way, together with us and together with many of the people on this call today. So the reason why we're not really going into a lot of details yet is because this is not the official launch of Squad Game, as I said in as I was very careful to say in the announcement of this call. It is just a sneak peek into it, so you're going to be finding out more details during Q1 2024. Next slide, please. It's weird to say that. It's now not you saying that or others saying that to me.
Anytime.
All right, so actually, as opposed to the logo that we showed earlier with the three signs separately, it makes a bit more sense in the case of the Nym Squad Game to visualize it this way. Basically, you as a community member get to enter the square and from there progress towards the triangle. So this is your entire path from starting to contribute to Nym in one way or another, to becoming a bit more serious, maybe securing just like some of these people on this call, as a squad or as an individual. So this, although it's called Squad Games, it's not only for squads. It's just really good to form squads because there's power in community, right? But you can also participate as an individual. You can deepen your relationship with Nym and the project and the community, entering the circle. And then if you, for example, like this gentleman over here, who's Hux, you end up co-designing things like Shipyard with us, which we're hoping a lot of squads and a lot of individuals will be doing next year. It's going to be a much more massive community collaboration. Then you make it into the triangle. So this is a progression from the outside to the inside.
You said you don't want to go into details, but you went into quite a bit of detail.
Was it a lot of detail?
No?
Boss, too much detail?
No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. So first to answer Jimmy. So Hux, your meme here of Squid Game, Squad Game is freaking everybody out. Nobody is going to die. Nobody's going to be eliminated. We want a diverse, growing, and ever-growing community. So it's quite the opposite, in fact. The main aim of Squad Game is essentially we want to combine a lot of the different programs that have been happening over the past year. So as Pseudo said, himself and Mykola included, like, they love creating new programs, and then Hux joins in and creates another program. So we have all these community programs. Everybody loves making more activities for the community. And it starts to get quite confusing, right? So what we want to do with the Squad Games is just bring everything together into a super clear framework, so that all of you wonderful people in our chats actually know exactly how you can contribute to Nym, and how you can, be rewarded for the different ways that you're contributing. And it will be, with call outs happening on a structured quarterly basis, this sort of thing. So it's literally just to put a little bit more structure to all the kind of like wonderful games and activities that you've been involved in over the past year or so. I did not allow Pseudo to do the full launch today because I want us to work on some more of the details before it's fully ready. So yeah, this is just a sneak preview, a little kind of like Christmas or Easter egg or however we want to put it, for people for you guys to kind of get a bit excited for what's happening in the new year. And in early January, we'll present the full program to everybody and kick things off.
Exactly. Now, one more thing that I think I can share. You can stop me. You can kick me from the stream, Jaya, if I'm saying too much. or send someone to my house, or just instruct Hux to do something about it. But one of the things that we've been improving nice and slow, but one of the key things that we've been hearing from community members, especially those who wanted to get involved, is how, right? It sounds very easy, but believe me, it's not. When someone really wants to get involved, to actually come up with a structure and a framework which makes it easy for both parties. That includes Nym and of course as well as the community. So that improved a lot over 2023. Part of that was of course the Nymja program, but squad games, which will include the Nymja program as well, will help even further with that. So we will be much it will be much better for both of us. You will have a much easier time to figure out what goals is it that you're supposed to support, and how you can exactly do that. Hopefully that was still fine.
Good. Yeah,
that was good.
Sounded good. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Approved from here.
Too bad we started a bit late, because I would have loved to hear what our squad members here think about what they already know about squad game. Maybe we can hear a bit of quick feedback from you guys. What do you think? Are you excited?
Yeah, I am happy nobody died. That's a good news.
That's a low bar, but we can clear that bar. I promise you, nobody will die.
Quite the opposite.
Yeah, really excited.
You were saying?
So yeah, really excited. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you, but I'm
Yes.
talking the
Yeah,
same
okay.
time as you talk. So now I stop and you talk. Go.
Okay, all right. No, yeah, really excited. Like, it's a sneak peek, so we don't have much information, but from what we've seen, like, if it's gonna simplify and make things easier, all the better, no? So as long as it makes the community like bigger and more tight knit and helps people develop, I'm all for it. So looking forward to see what is gonna come and what kind of games are gonna be involved. 'Cause squad games, so I'm expecting some games, but I don't know how.
There could be some games. Maybe. Who knows? Not gonna say more. I'm gonna be very mysterious here. I was instructed to be extremely mysterious. Jai, you wanna say something in a very mysterious fashion?
No, I think that's good. I hope everybody has a wonderful time over the holiday period and a fantastic start to the new year. It's been a tremendous year, and what a nice way to wrap it up, to see these great proposals come in at the end of Shipyard. It's been a pleasure, really.
Anything to add?
Yeah, I think when someone asked me on some community call, what am I looking forward the most around Shipyard, and I think that was this moment when this community call wraps up, and it was great, and it was such a journey, and I'm super happy that we're finishing on this note, that squad games are kicking off next year, that there's so many proposals that we've seen and brilliant ideas, new people coming into the community. So I'm super happy. I'm really looking forward for the holiday period too, and I wish for everyone to feel at least 80% as happy as I am at this point, because that should be fairly enough for a great 4 weeks ahead. So yeah, I'm super grateful for all of you, and yeah, all the others in the chat. So thank you guys.
I think we still have maybe a few more minutes left to also allow our squad representatives to say goodbye and maybe wish Happy New Year and happy whatever holiday people are celebrating to everyone.
Shall I
I
start?
can speak Spanish.
Oh.
I can speak in Spanish.
Go.
Quiero agradecer muchísimo a toda la comunidad que habla español. Si no nos ha permitido tener el contenido en nuestro idioma, comunicarnos y mejorar nuestro inglés en muchos de los casos. Y muchísimas gracias a Nym por esta oportunidad. Ha sido increíble. Todo el Shipyard, todo el conocimiento, todo lo que hemos compartido, todo lo que estamos construyendo, todo lo que está por venir, los nodos, es algo que nos vuela la cabeza. Estamos muy felices como comunidad, como hispanohablantes de seguir creciendo. Y pues feliz Navidad a todos y que tengan un excelente inicio de año. Gracias, gracias. Total.
Gracias.
Feliz Navidad. John, you were about to say something.
Yeah. No, guys. I mean, amazing, really amazing stuff. Thank you for inviting me. Happy New Year to everyone. Happy holidays, whatever holidays you enjoy, and whatever holidays make you happy. So yeah, thank you for having me today as well.
Anybody else? It's not mandatory. It's not mandatory at all. But before I show people the secret phrase for today's pull-up, I want to make sure that everybody gets to say what they want to say. Okay, well then I go last. It really has been a hell of a. What did I do something?
Just Alex just wanted to start to say.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, man. I didn't notice. I just didn't want awkward silence. Go.
Yeah, I would like to say and wish everyone that it's holidays. Yeah, so we need to free our brains and just eat, sleep, not think about other hard stuff, and just relax. Yeah, it's first of all, and then we will have a new time, new year, and we'll go on.
Absolutely, well said.
Exactly, we're closing with the best possible advice. That's exactly what I'm going to be doing, hopefully, for the next few days. With that, I'm going to go last before sharing the secret phrase with you guys. It really has been a hell of a year. I am super stoked of what came out of Shipyard. I couldn't have hoped for anything even remotely as amazing as what we're seeing. So we're looking into, believe me, even though I was not allowed to share a lot of detail with you today, looking at you, Jaya. 2024 is going to be an awesome year, so make sure to stay tuned. Huge thanks for everybody who has been sticking with us. I could list a whole bunch of names. Not gonna do that, but I see you in chat. Much love to everybody. Happy New Year, Happy Christmas if you celebrate that. Happy to anything else if you celebrate those. And yeah, we're closing an amazing year together. And
one last thing.
Sorry, go.
Just to mention something that's happening between Christmas and New Year's. Nym is going to be at the Chaos Communication Congress in Hamburg. So some of you might know of the CCC. It's quite a kind of legendary hacker conference or congress that happens in Germany every year. We're going to try and get a whole bunch of people together to try and break the Nym VPN and see how far they get with that. So if anyone is in or at CCC, do come and say hi.
Right, so hopefully we're gonna see a link pop up in the chat to CCC. If you're interested, make sure to check it out and hang out with us. Hux, the deck is with you. You need to share your screen.
The same deck.
It's the same deck. It's the very end of it.
You put in a slide.
I even created the new squad games design for the secret phrase slide. Okay, wait a second.
It's not showing on the screen though.
Yeah, not yet. Now it is. All right, folks. Hopefully you like my new design. The secret phrase for today is, of course, a squad game, which you may have guessed in the exact same spelling as you see it here. So capital S, capital G. You can use it to claim your POAP for attending this very special final community call of 2023. Once again, I would like to thank everybody for being here, both the squads who are represented and the representatives who are representing them, and also the audience for this call and for many others. And for Shipyard, you are amazing. We're going to have way more of this going forward. So do the usual thing. Hopefully you know the drill by now. Just go to the link that was shared in the chat, nymtech.net/go/POAP, and enter this phrase in the exact same format to claim your POAP for this event. Make sure to claim POAPs, hint, hint, because they may be kind of important in 2024. They may have some value. Again, not allowed to share a lot of details. Hopefully you guys are as stoked as I am to close an amazing year and as excited as I am to look into the next one. Bye, everybody. Much love.